The characters portrayed throughout my opening sequence each revolve around their own stereotype: the chav, the teenage girl, and the person of authority. The ages of each character are between 17 to 30 years. 17 to 20-year-olds are within the main criteria of the chav gang and the teenage girl depicted as a chav against her true will, the 30-year-old being the person of authority. The age groups I have chosen to portray are all within the typical norms of either youth, concerning deviance in this case, or elders in a higher authority position. My opening sequence displays the younger characters stereotypically in a negative light, creating more reason to believe that they will cause any damage or take part in the felonies of the nature, drug possession and marketing. The age of the character can display to the audience what is expected of them before they have been fully introduced. For example, a 30-year-old male is expected to behave in a mature manner, having a stable career and usually hold authority over the younger generation, as they have experienced the journey that youth may not have yet taken. The socioeconomics and gender of characters also have an influence on how the audience reflect upon the individual social groups. My characters are represented as a low socioeconomic group. Connotations of this are implied through mise-en-scène, for example location, props, and makeup. Stereotypically, a chav is a subculture known to wear tracksuits and cheap brands signifying their low income. They are also known commonly as troublemakers, meaning that this group of youth are the most likely to participate with the misdemeanor. The villainy developed during my opening sequence is one that would fabricate easy money for the people involved, something that people of this nature would without a doubt take part in. Braden's group can also be compared to the gang groups in Kidulthood, Adulthood, and Fish Tank. Films usually associated with social drama are hybrid to crime. The youngest character appears defenseless, therefore their elders can take advantage of this. The other two characters are more highly respected due to their situations or age. The person of authority, PC Thrift, is a police officer, also stereotypically represented as his job is of great importance. With a higher socioeconomic group, he is still working class, however he has more deference for his country, fighting crime rather than committing crime. He represents the protagonist as mature and understanding, but if required he can change his facade, overriding his opinions of youth. A typical good cop, bad cop personality. Alicia Johnson, my main protagonist, revisiting the same socio-economic group as Chaz, has a very contradictory mindset. She is just a typical girl hoping to gain her own self-fulfilling prophecy. Attaining friends is a very important part of her youth, and rushing into it means that she mixes with the wrong crowd. To connote her hunger to fit in, I have dressed her in the same appropriate tracksuit, yet she looks far tidier than the rest, almost as if she is trying too hard. Being female protagonist, she is innocent and open to threat from all her fellow gang members. This can also be used as a convention of a horror or even social drama. The protagonist may be compared to the character Driver in the film Drive, a Hollywood stuntman who moonlights as a getaway driver for thieves, finds that a price has been put on his head after a failed robbery. Much like Alicia, Driver trusts his neighbour, the thief, to keep him protected throughout any consequence of their actions. However, his life is at risk. Without such a large risk, Alicia falls for the trust of her gang friends and is put into a dangerous position. The police are put onto the case and she may be blamed for the whole scam. She has run away with any evidence that could end with a charge or risk of being locked up, however innocent she really is. The lead member of this arrangement is a male antagonist. Males, being the most dominant in some respects, are the most likely to take charge due to power over peers. What he says goes. As in many other films, the antagonist is found usually to be portrayed as manipulative and destructive. The character named Braden, with his corrupt nature, schemes against the protagonist, creating a second persona in which the protagonist sympathizes, falling into a trap. This image can be compared to the usual suspects, Roger Kent. Being vulnerable and known as a cripple, gets away with a number of criminal acts. He uses his made-up disability to seem weak and susceptible, but is perfectly capable of killing a man. Kent's actions are considered in advance. He knows that if he is caught he will be taken down immediately. He has worked out on his fake personality and features of his own made-up character to trick and confuse the police services. His age means he has more experience in the business. whereas Braden has only altered his usual personality traits to blackmail the protagonist into the labour that would otherwise get him in trouble.